Now to Victoria, and the Labor government appears to be making some succession-style moves and planning for life after Dan Andrews. The Herald Sun reports that transition planning has been underway in recent months, with the Deputy Premier, Jacinta Allen, advised to start building a team around her that would be ready to hit the ground running at short notice. Matt, Dan Andrews is probably the most dominant politician in the country right now. Why would he step down?
Well, Rita, I don't think Dan Andrews wants to be the second coming of Joan Kirner. And for those that might be a bit younger than me, and yourself, Rita, you're much younger than me, so you might not remember Joan Kirner. But she presided over a recession in the early 1990s through shocking mismanagement of the Victorian economy, and it did actually put the whole country into recession. It was Victoria alone put the whole nation into recession in the early 1990s. It was a shocking time for many people. And you really do see the groundwork being laid here by the economic incompetence of the Andrews government for a Joan Kirner 2.0. Look at their last budget. They've mirrored their state in massive amounts of debt, just like Joan Kirner did. They've got very little to show for it in terms of economically productive assets. And now they're having to massively raise taxes on almost every industry in Victoria. Now, that's going to have a consequence. There's going to be a consequence for those increased taxes. That's going to lower economic activity at a time where it's already quite fraught, the economic environment. And so Victoria, once again, unfortunately, could do this under this time Red Dan and his unwanton spending. So I think he's getting out of the place before the bomb goes off.
Well, that seems to also be the opinion of the South Australian Labor government, because they seem to be seizing on this opportunity of Victoria's many woes, because we've just had a horror budget with taxes increasing, and they're coming for their Labor counterparts in Victoria. The South Australian Treasurer, Stephen Mulligan, has said, if you are a large corporate employer, especially in these days when even people in senior positions perform remotely, the choice should be obvious. Why would you choose a high-tax, high-cost location like Victoria when you could come to a place like SA? Ouch, Matt, as a Victorian, that hurts, but the man has a point.
Well, look, it's a bit easier, obviously, for the South Australian Labor Party. They're still in the honeymoon period, very new government, so they haven't got quite the record to defend yet. But I noticed that some in the South Australian Labor Party have come up with a new slogan, which I quite like, and that's saying that the South Australian Labor Party is pro-jobs, in their view at least, pro-jobs, whereas the Victorian Labor Party is all about pro-nouns. I thought it was very, very well done.
That's very good.
And at least they're trying, I suppose, to focus on jobs. If I were the South Australian Labor Party, though, I wouldn't be crowing all that much. Their electricity system is a complete disaster. They rely completely on other states, including Victoria, may I add, to keep the lights on when the wind doesn't blow. And they're seeing shocking increases in their power prices as a result. In fact, since the Liddell coal-fired power station shut, their wholesale power prices have more than doubled, much higher increase than anywhere else in the country. And that's because, in fact, the Liddell coal-fired power station in New South Wales has had more of an impact on the South Australian power system because that's where South Australia was getting its power from. All this rubbish about them saying they're green and they've got these renewable targets met, they're actually getting coal-fired power from other states. And when we shut those down, they're in a lot of trouble.
Matt Canavan, you always speak sense. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thanks, Rita.